Welcome back to 45 News Utah. Now, you can always go to Facebook, is where most of my videos are posted because it takes too long to actually upload anything to YouTube. So, if you want to get caught up in any of my rants, you could go to Facebook, 45 News Utah, or you can go to my other sites. But realistically, I can't upload much at all to YouTube. It takes too long. Uh, like I have the allergies are so bad, guys. Yeah, I don't know where to go with this. It is just a torture. It is torture. Worst allergy season on record here in Utah. Just extreme pressure. Thanks for your support. I do think that we're starting to get more views on YouTube or on Facebook. I'd like to see a lot of YouTube crowd move to the Facebook. Uh, of course, you can personally attack me there for my take on current world situations. So it's up to you. But I'm going to record this video real quick and tell you that we are on the brink of World War III. You are also on the brink of thermonuclear war. Even we know this about what Putin said, what the Russian Federation has already said. But NATO is not backing down. This war is not going to end. The referendum is going to come about. They're going to secede to Russia, and then it's going to be considered an attack on Russian soil when Zelensky continues the funded war, and he is fighting for NATO. So they're going to continue to fight, and it's not going to. They're calling them sham elections, sham's a new word. Shams are just like the threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. I have a video that has like 50 news organizations saying the exact same thing. It's a threat to our democracy. Fake news is a threat. They're going to use the same thing as sham elections against you. But we have entered a precipice. We have literally the 300,000 reservists being called up. These are already military trained men. They are going to go right into action. They're probably ready to step on a bus within 24 hours. This is going to be huge, huge. So the mechanized units are probably going to be number in the tens, 20,000 mechanized units. We're going to have the Air Force, full Russian Air Force. We're also possibly going to have Soviet era bombers carpet bombing the NATO troops, which I call the Ukrainian troops. This is going to be the end of Zelensky, more than likely. We're going to see the Ukrainian military completely crushed. If they are able to pull off anything, would be determined by Putin's resolve at this point. What facets of military expertise is he going to use? Will he carpet bomb the Ukrainian troops? Remember, every male from 18 to 60 had to stay and fight. So, there isn't much of a reserve that Ukraine can pull up. So it's got to be mercenaries that will have to be funneling in there in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands just to beat this new emerging army. Do not underestimate the Russian resolve to conquer and to mobilize within days. That's what the Nazis learned about the Russians. So this is it. This is the big showdown. Now it depends on what Brandon and Co does, because they're pushing climate change at the same time. Stock markets really should be crashing. Hyperinflation is out of control. This is a gigantic circus tent that's been created since the COVID-19 pandemic. Trillions, untold trillions stolen. The economy, the inflation, the Inflationary Act, all this garbage has benefited the rich kleptocrat oligarchs. This is the biggest theft in human history. The American people in the world is going to pay that price, and BRICS is going to take over. That's my prediction. The BRICS is going to outpace the U.S. Hedge money. We've been railroaded by these corporate kleptocrats and by the mega healthcare industries. These great big hedge funds have sucked the wealth out of America by throwing, peanuts at people, cause strife and division. This is what it looks like when an empire is imploding, when the Thefticons get in charge, and they want to revamp the entire system. And the Carl Schwabs, and everybody's listening to Carl Schwab, and he's a son of a Nazi. Punch a Nazi, right? Well, the World Economic Forum is ran by the son of a Nazi. So when they run around saying punch a Trump supporter because he's a Nazi, but yet you're listening to Karl Schwab in the World Economic Forum that NATO's answering to. You can hear everything they say. Where does the fist go? Stop believing in the lies, guys. Stop it. Stop it. Blessed is the peacemakers. They have painted us in a corner that people are just bouncing around, all privileged, they're all this, and they do not realize, and they haven't realized since the start of this war, this is it. This is it. This is where the U.S. and NATO and Europe have overplayed their hands answering to the corporate shills. The corporations have made more money during the COVID pandemic than they ever made in the history of anything. They passed bills and stole. All that money is gone. They have little reserves setting aside they're going to use for funding still from the pandemic money, but they stole so much money. That's why people are running around with their razors and their ATVs and their motorcycles, their brand new boats, that's all debt dollars. So trying to get us to fight climate change, facing World War III and nuclear war. I mean, just give everybody a reminder that it only takes a few nukes detonated over the United States and Europe, and the entire country goes black. We'll be partying like it's 1695 after that. That's it. That's all. It's done. It's over. Cities are escaped from LA. The electrical grid goes down. It's over. People will eat each other. Their dogs will become food. It will be an absolute disaster. The oil reserves our strategic oil reserves being pumped out into the market. Joe Biden, Brandon corporations pumping out our strategic oil reserves, which would be used during a cataclysmic crisis like that. The coastal cities are emptying out. New York, all the coastal cities, California's flooding throughout the West, destroying everything, causing strife with housing markets, driving inflation. People are living on the streets because they can't afford a place to rent. That's how this works. They're emptying the cities out on the East Coast because they're possibly going to be hit. Got to remember, our naval bases are on the East Coast and the West Coast. Brandon came out and said he's going to defend Taiwan militarily. He said he'd defend him. And asked if he had sent in U.S. men and women. He said yes. Taiwan came out today and said, or China came out today and said they will try everything possible to have a peaceful reunification with Taiwan. But nobody's living behind that facade anymore. BRICS is going to have a major impact on the world structure. They are going to become the powerhouse. They have the population, 3+ billion people. They have the resources. The oil dollar is failing. That's what this hinged on. It was Nixon taking off the gold standard to be traded for oil. The U.S. dollar has become the fiat currency, the global currency. And now that has failed. That has failed. We were already losing this prior to the COVID pandemic. We're 59% of total global reserve currency. We had a chance prior to the indoctrination of the green insanity. We had a chance if we would have worked on this over another decade. We needed another decade to implement this type of better energy. But the problem is that the U.S. dollar crashed because Biden sent in Anthony Blinken. You see Nancy Pelosi going around doing Blinken's job. Biden sent Blinken, the former pop star, to Saudi Arabia and offended them. And they said, bye-bye. They hate fossil fuels. They hate oil. They hate gas. They already said when Biden got elected, they were going to take us off oil and gas. But what has he done in the meantime? He has made the fuel companies ultra stinking rich. Profits. Got to save this. Yeah, build this solar. Have you ever seen a solar farm? Everything dies. Nothing lives there. Birds crash into it. It's not effective at all. We needed time to perfect that technology. Like the Europeans said, it's going to be painful, but it's going to be painful. This is the US dollar crashing. This is the EU crashing. This is what happens when currencies crash. You are living in literally a fight for global domination. That's why billions are being pushed out. Biden just said today to help with hunger. They gave money to Jordan. They're trying to buy their way back. The Biden administration has completely engulfed the dumpster fire. He had the dumpster fire. Now him and his administration is the entire circus tent is burning. The insanity and strife is rampant. This is nuts. The stock market's a scam. The housing market's a scam. It's all a complete and utter scam to keep you dancing. There's the insanity, cutting rights and all this stuff, and you can't speak up, and MAGA Republicans are the enemy of democracy in America, and he turns around and says, you've got to unite the world against Putin. He has 90 million people. Joe Biden has 90 million Americans that voted for Trump, that believe in a better America, that don't want to live in insanity. Those of you that voted for Biden, this is the dumpster fire. You're at the brink of World War III, nuclear war. That hinges on Vladimir Zelensky. You have handed the future of you, whatever your cause is, abortion, whatever it is, you handed it to Vladimir Zelensky. What he does with the weapons that you provide, and you have all paid for weapons that have killed women and children in Donetsk and Luhansk republics. And you have paid for that. You've also killed Russian soldiers. It's your tax dollars that did that. You're a company to murder. Where is the comments of peace? Stop the war. Negotiate. Armistice. Let's stop. Where is the comments? Nobody comments that because you're all in the circus tent screaming and yelling for the clowns as the tent's burning. Where the Soviet Union, when you lived through the Cold War, 90% of you haven't, apparently, because you would be saying right now, stop it, and stop it now, Joe Brandon. Those republics seceded. If they vote out, you are going to get nuked. He said today. And if we do this, that will become territory of Russia. And Zelensky will not stop. It's over. It's over. There'll be Soviet-era bombers carpet bombing the Ukrainian army to pieces. That'll be another loss of human life. There will be Russians killed that didn't want to get in this fight, but that will be a loss of human life. Civilians killed. This is not fighting bin Laden. This is not, we did this in Iraq. We did this in Syria. They're not our neighbors like Joe Biden said. This is his neighbors. We did this in Vietnam. We did this in Korea. We are the party of secession. We seceded from Great Britain. This is their war. This is their civil war. But instead it's NATO against Russia. This has been a bone that's been wanting to be picked for so long with the Democrats. It's stupid. And Lindsey Graham and John McCain that's gone. Remember, we went to Libya, and even Hillary Clinton said, we saw he died. We liberated Libya with your money funding military men rebels to go in and topple Libya. We did that. We caused Libya to be a slave trading hub of North Africa. We did that. Where was the world outcry? Libya had the gold. He was going to make the African mark, a gold mark that was going to attack the dollar, and that's what happened. You guys on the left and you guys that are even on the right got to realize one thing. When the nukes fly, it is over. Whatever you thought, whatever you believed is done. The cities are like Escape from LA. People will be tearing each other apart. Gangs will massacre people. Massacre. This isn't a joke or a game. This is done. This is Putin. This is the Russian Federation's neighbor. They called up 300,000 reservists. These are reservists. These are not just bakers and guys cooking cookies. These are reservists. They're going to come in there with tens of thousands of mechanized equipment, and they're going to have the whole Russian Air Force there. This is the time where NATO is going to try to destroy the Russian army on the battlefield. And nobody cares. They're all like, I hid for 2 years from a virus, get 6 feet away from me, don't touch me, oh, I'm going to die from a virus. You're killing somebody without a mask. But yet, thermonuclear war, gotta get you some. Because the bobblehead media tells you you have to get some nuclear war. You have to destroy Russia. But you hid from a virus for 2 years. You put a mask on and you were herded in corrals. You're told not to leave your house, but yet thermonuclear war was just fine. Putin said if you attack it, you use weapons with that nuclear power plant, we're going to have to nuke you. If you continue and attack Russia, we're going to have to nuke you. He's not going to nuke Vladimir Zelensky. He's going to nuke us. This is nuclear war. I don't know what to say for everybody. You're on the left, you're like, just I'm like, okay, go hide in your basement again because somebody sneezed. But keep posting that. You want kill Russia. Do it because you can run from a virus, but you ain't running from a Cermat-2 missile. Because one of those detonated with 14 hypersonic glider nuclear warheads. Newsflash, Russia has more advanced nuclear weapons than we do. Newsflash, they're hypersonic. Newsflash, you will face imminent destruction if this turns nuclear. But everybody's like, those conscripts, kill those trolls, those Russian orcs. So tough behind your computer. So tough. A nuclear warhead will hit you in less than 30 minutes. And everything you've ever known, or everything you will know in the future, will change forever. Forever. But the virus shut the entire world down, and you were afraid of that. Deathly afraid. My nose running. But I was sent to slaughter because I was an essential worker while you guys hid. This is the essential workers telling you you were crazy before, and now you've gone completely insane. Because even the threat of nuclear war, this should stop. I don't care if Donbass secedes, because 99.9% of you didn't even know where Donbass was before this. And they're Russian speakers. This is their civil war. It's not your civil war, but Russian aggression, but nuclear war. If they secede in 20, 30 years, they may secede back out. But it's not worth the lives of the world. Cataclysmic events across the planet. You want to save the world, but you want nuclear war. You're okay with nuclear war, or even the threat of nuclear war, but you want to save the planet. But those polar bears could fall off their ice sheets, right? But nuclear war devastates the planet. But even to mention that this much, do it or even come close to having it happen, you are the ones risking the planet. That is factual. You gotta kill those Russians. You're risking the planet. You're risking the planet. You pump all the CO2s you want out now. You could literally ride around your Dodge truck and brum, 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 you shoot carbon everywhere. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. It won't matter a bit. The Holocaust that'll happen, they'll shut down nuclear power plants across Europe and they can't figure out why. There's your answer. Because power plants will overheat and explode in the event of electromagnetic pulse or a nuclear war. Let's go green. We got to go green, but shut the nuclear power plants down that actually can power millions of homes. But Newsom's been shutting them down. Europe's shutting them down. Why? They take a while to wind down, guys. This is the facts. Stop pushing for war. Start demanding peace. Even at the point of signing an armistice between this in this area, and just cut it off. It's not worth the world. It's not worth the environment. It's not worth your children, your grandchildren. We knew what nuclear war was in my generation. You apparently do not. Superman's not going to save us. This is real in your face. You are under the threat of thermal nuclear war that will be less than 30 minutes. Everything you know will change forever, and that is a very big possibility, and it hinges on what Vladimir Zelensky does and the Biden administration and the EU, NATO does at this time. You were in World War III. If they continue, World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones because there won't be anything left. Nothing left. Stop it. Stop it now. Get it? Got it? Good. Because by instigating this with your little posts, you are instigating thermal nuclear war. Every little post is another chip at that tree with your hatchet. Eventually, somebody's going to fall and hit you in the head. And you're risking the life of all of us. So stop it. Thanks for watching 45 News Utah. Like, share, subscribe, go to Facebook. And if you hate me that much for posting the truth, apparently got a problem because you hid for 2 years in your basement from a virus that had like a 1% kill rate. Have a great day.